All right, we in here now. We in here now. Mike.
Mm. Mic check. Let's
Can you
go.
hear me loud and clear? I'm about to spit a 16. You ready?
Let me see it.
All right. Okay. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti.
Innovative bars. Innovative bars.
Innovative part. All right. Welcome everybody. The Bench Player Podcast,
Yes,
episode
sir.
4. I had someone comment on TikTok, and I don't know what the comment went. I don't know if he deleted it or she deleted it, whatever. But they're like, Bench Player Podcast is a this podcast has a terrible name.
Well,
I'm like,
sounds like hate.
if I remember correctly, because it was there, then it went away.
Yeah.
And I was like, when it was there, the person's name, because when TikTok gets you a like it gives you a name when you don't pick one, it's like user 13476 and
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was like a name like that, and I'm like, oh, you want to talk about names?
yeah.
Couldn't even pick one.
Yeah, no. You're not even creative enough to come up with nothing.
Now the reason why we're the Bench Player Podcast is because we're just two dudes that are not in the NBA, that
No, we're not
aren't in
music.
the music game. We on the bench,
Watch it.
and we
And
just
hate.
and we
And
just
hate.
talk shit. So in a way, it's the perfect name. But episode 4, welcome everybody. Before we get started, make sure you follow the social medias: YouTube, TikTok,
Mm.
Spotify, the Apple Podcast app, the Bench Player Podcast. We on there. Since the last episode, not a whole lot was going down until we have these agendas we put together, just stuff we want to touch on, and it was looking a little light, looking like a light pat.
And then we got blessed.
And then we got blessed by Mr. Toronto himself, the sixth god, Drake
Mm.
Aubrey Graham, putting out a smash.
Define
And
smash.
look, so I'm sure the internet knows, but we'll just introduce it. Drake put out a record. He's a feature. It's not his record, right? He's featured on
Yeah,
it.
correct. He's a feature on a record that was already out.
And it is a Toronto cover of Hey There Delilah. Now, some of y'all might not be white. And let me explain to you what Hey There Delilah
Fire.
was for the white community.
Fire.
Smash.
Have you ever heard Dreams and Nightmares? It's that
It's like that
very
for
comparable.
the Caucasians. Plain White Tees is the band name. Bet you didn't even know that.
No, I didn't know that.
So
I like the song, but I didn't dig any deeper than that.
now look, I'll start this off. I told you that this was over since For All the Dogs came out. I told you when For All the Dogs came out, I said Drake is officially out of hip hop. And you gave me a little pushback. How's this take aging?
I was in denial. Okay, I'm a big Drake fan. They didn't send the OVO check, so I had to accept defeat. You know what I mean? Here we are. Ironically, this comes almost exactly a month after the infamous Family Matters and Meet the Grams night. And well, the boogeyman's a real thing. That's all I'll say.
I want to let you guys know, if Jordan could be anybody in this world, he could be a hip hop breaking news reporter. Because this dude hits me with shit before it even hits any headline anywhere. And I'm in this bedroom and I'm playing video games with my wife and my newborn sleeping. It's a peaceful night. We're playing video games like we do.
Had to
And
fuck that
then
up.
I get a text and he says, Drake just covered Hey There Delilah, which the first thing that came to my mind, AI Kanye already did this. Because they got AI Kanye did Hey There Delilah, and it was amazing.
Well,
But, and then about, I want to say maybe 3 minutes later, my wife says, hey, Jordan just texted me and said to play this out loud. And
I gotta get
Wagwan
I gotta get you an
Delilah.
Instagram so I can send things to you directly.
Yeah, I
Because
don't have an Instagram, so he's got to communicate through my wife.
I'd be like this. You need to see this. But I
Um,
was clarified. The text said Drake made a Hey Delilah remix. Dot 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 dot.
oh,
That's important in this.
yeah, he said Kendrick did irreversible damage, which I think is accurate. Look, so I want to point out that I said when For All the Dogs came out, I said it's over. Drake is officially in he's pop. He's not hip hop. And then he tried to the ones that he was losing, like he lost me as like a hip hop guy. And then he tried to reel us back in with the little 6-pack that came out after the
It was
scary
cool.
hours.
It was cool.
And I was like, okay, that might work for some. That ain't gonna work for me. I
It
need to
was
see
cool.
more. And then I thought the 6 was fire, but to me, that almost seemed like a goodbye package. That almost seemed like, hey, this is it.
Just like here.
And then that's it. And then this kind of just furthers what I was feeling at the time. And here's one thing I'll say, right? You can't diss Kendrick Lamar and say you are corny because you do songs with Taylor Swift and Maroon 5, and then you hop on the plain white tee cover.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, like
It's like
blasphemy.
everything that either Kendrick dissed you on or you said Kendrick did, you are now doing the follow up this entire.
Worse,
It's
worse.
I got a sexy red feature where you rapped over a BBL Drizzy beat. And then to make up for it, you said, "Yeah, I buy everybody BBLs," which is exactly what Kendrick was talking about.
That's
Um,
like, you don't understand.
like I don't think you get this. And then you follow with the Hey Delilah remix, where you're talking gangster shit on Hey Delilah. So here we are.
I can't
This
really give you a breakdown of the record because I heard it once and I'm never going back.
no, I heard it 3 times because I was trying to make myself like it.
You were like, okay, you really
I was
trying
like,
to.
"Come on, no, there's something I'm missing." I was
Nah,
missing.
he got a
I tried.
shiesty on. Okay.
Yeah, Smoky in these streets. Oh, I get it. Smoky. It happens. It's crazy
tis
out
the
here.
tis the season.
Yeah, no, it's kind of summertime, but I get it. I understand. Toronto weather's.
No, Drake's fall from grace is going to be documented, and
I
we
mean,
we
he can put out an album and change things. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, but he can.
I think the days of Drake rapping for the sake of any type of credit to the hip hop hierarchy, I think is done. I think that's over.
I
Like, you know
don't.
how, and I don't want to bring like J. Cole into this, but it just seems like it just
He feels
feels
this.
natural. But like Drake, you know how J. Cole was rapping because he wanted to be somewhere up on the hip hop hierarchy.
He wanted to be held at number one.
Yeah, I think Drake kind of sounded like he possibly could be in that direction, like back in the day. The nothing was the same. The if you're reading this is too late. It seemed like it just the drop, dude. Like if before For All the Dogs came out,
When did it change?
I think it's For All the Dogs change. I swear. I don't want to sound like I'm a tinfoil hat and I'm trying to really force my point here, but before For All the Dogs came out, it just seemed like and I spoke about this maybe last pod. I was like, this is the opportunity. This is it to really, solidify yourself. Because Kendrick was MIA,
Yeah.
Cole was cool, but it just seemed like there was such a big distance between 1 and 2, and
Oh,
Drake was 1.
I don't want to say it's cool. It was Cole was cool because Cole was rapping his ass off prior to
A
that. Let
hundred
me
percent.
be very clear.
It just
Uh,
seemed like it never closed the gap between him and Drake, though.
that's fair. Okay.
Because Drake was just so far ahead. Because while everybody was cool and everybody was kind of kicking back, Drake was just records and albums and features. And it just seemed like he had his thumb on everything. And one crazy album, it could have just sent him into the stratosphere. So then he put out that bullshit, respectfully, and then beefs with Kendrick. Kendrick was like, "Oh, you want to rap? Okay, let me see if you're actually built for this." Not really. And then Hey There Delilah comes out. Wagwan Delilah.
It's a, I think going back, I think when we heard the title for All the Dogs, me and you were both like, all right,
Because
this might be it.
didn't he say it was on Instagram, Twitter, something. He said, you say you missed the old Drake, girl don't tempt me. And I
Yes,
was like, old Drake, and maybe that was Nothing Was the Same, old Drake. Take care, old Drake. And we were like, oh shit.
it's
But
coming.
it was the newest of Drake's.
And then we got the R&B Drizzy, Lil Yachty Drizzy.
It was the newest of new
Yeah,
Drake's.
this is the modernized new Drake.
So lame, bro.
No, it's a, I don't know, man. And it seems like there's a clear disconnect, or we have a goal for Drake that Drake doesn't have a goal for himself.
That's so true. That's such a good point.
And I think that's what it all comes down to. It's tough. And it's tough to accept as a hip hop fan because you just thought Drake's just this hip hop guy. He's gonna try, especially when we saw this Kendrick beef. We're like, oh, you're teasing somebody that we know performs at that hip hop hierarchy top of the list, and you're saying let's do it. So you think, okay, no, he's here. Like, let's do this. And he didn't underperform by any means.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Overperformed, I think.
yeah, no, I got way more from him than I could have possibly asked.
Yep.
And just didn't, we thought after that, we'd be like, hey, maybe we get some rapping Drake. But it seems like Kendrick just like mushed his confidence a little bit in that field.
Yeah, it almost seemed like I just I don't want to speculate too much, but I can't imagine he's who in his team is saying, "Hey, it's the same thing that we were talking about with J. Cole and Grippy, right? We were like,
Okay.
Grippy's cool any other time, but like right now, it's a bad idea."
I think these some of these songs were made prior to that. This
I
all
know,
happening.
but like, who's giving it the green light to come out?
I don't know. Because
Like,
also later on this month, he has apparently two songs on Camila Cabela's album, another pop star.
I don't think I know her too much. Is that the chick that does Havana?
Yes,
Havana,
yes,
una.
yes.
Oh,
She did that with Young Thug,
oh yeah, she got over there with Thugger. Okay.
fine as hell. But you know what you're gonna get with that. You know what I mean? So it's like we got Sexy Red, we got uh Juan Delilah, and now we're getting this all in the same month following this situation. This just seems like mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Well, like I said, mistakes in the way that we're viewing what we think he should be doing.
There were some conversations. I'm gonna probably date it back to definitely last year, where me and you were in a lot of me and you were having a bunch of conversations. Nothing was cemented, but we had a bunch of conversations about, let's try to put together like an actual top rappers of all time list, and
Yeah,
let's accumulate everything. Let's talk about popularity, culture, bars, catalog, even I think we were throwing in like cosigns and outside business ventures and shit like that. Let's do it all. There was a conversation where Drake sitting at a 2-3 spot.
yeah, absolutely.
Does that change now?
Um,
With all the ghostwriting shit that we just don't know. We're not saying that he has ghostwriters writing on his bars, because that'd be crazy to say, but you don't know,
it's
right?
the windows got opened up a little bit more.
Yeah, and there's like the unknown factor here.
Yeah.
So
Um,
and I'm not saying, and I'm not confirming Drake's number 2 on my all-time list. That's not what I'm saying. There was just conversations for it. Is he sliding as we speak?
it's hard to say he's sliding because I want to see what this looks like 6 months from now. I think that makes
Fair
we
enough.
have recency bias in the situation, right? Like we just watched one of the biggest disses of our lifetime, essentially.
Yeah.
And just if you're being unbiased, it looked like a mollywop, to be frank with you.
Yep.
Uh, from somebody who performed really well, just got whooped, it seemed like. Um, that's I think I saw a line somebody described it as it's like Drake dropped a 40-point triple double and still lost in the finals. I think Drake
Yep.
performed well. Don't
Me
don't get me
too.
wrong. I think he had some pivotal mistakes, but I think he performed well.
Me too.
But when you perform that well, you think, All right, give me something that's gonna make me realize now you still can rap your ass off, and he's doing a complete direction. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. Give me a timestamp record, and this could change things really quickly. I
I
don't
don't.
foresee it happening, but
I
it could
think
change quickly.
I think Kendrick did some real damage, and I
Seems
think
to both of them.
it's I think whenever he drops, there's still going to be kind of the asterisk. Did someone else write this? You know, you still message young girls when you shouldn't, and like I think that shit's gonna follow because that we always kind of knew that shit, but no one ever put it on blast and Front Street like that. So he's gonna have to deal with them trolls for forever.
Yeah, because
And
you right in the Scorpion area. Remember when he did the interview with LeBron at the barbershop?
yep,
They were talking. He was like, "Yeah, some people help me write this, but there's when it comes to bars, I write that. I write that." And then LeBron's just like, "Yeah, because Mob Ties is our record." He's like, and then a reference shot comes out.
yeah.
It's like I don't believe you anymore now. Like,
Yeah, and it's the thing. Like, I don't want to speak in dramatics and talk extremities and be like, "Oh, everyone he doesn't write his own shit," because I don't believe that.
yeah,
Because I do think, and I'm gonna throw him some bail, even at a time where he's getting his back kicked in pretty hard. But you know, I still I know Drake put on battle rap events that he funded
yeah,
for like his birthday and shit. Like he's attended, King of the Dot battle rap events and co-hosts. Like Drake is he's of the hip hop culture. Rather, if you corny internet dudes want to say, Drake's not hip hop, stick to the melodies, all that shit. Drake can rap. And if you don't see that, you just don't want to see it, and that's cool. Cause like Drake's best verses, like Drake's first verse on Hell Yeah Fucking Right. If that's not rapping, I don't know what is.
please show me.
Like that's what I'm like. It's like if y'all just want to hate, that's fine. I'm we can't have a conversation with you. But I'm speaking from a non-biased, just a guy who has been hip hop since day one. Drake can rap, and Family Matters showed that shit.
Yeah,
What he was doing, not even from a lyrical content standpoint, from a technicality standpoint, like if we're talking getting real specific, breath control,
mm-hmm.
syllables, it was flawless. I told you it was the highlight of the beef for me.
Yeah. Like I said,
Um,
it's you can make the argument he lost musically, but I think that was a very close battle. It was strategy that was the lopsiding portion of this.
yeah, and no, I definitely think that Drake is. There's a part of him. I think it's fading away more and more as the days go on. But I do think there's a part of him that wants to really rap and, like I said, take a spot in the hierarchy. But
But to your
it's
point, like
extremely hard now.
how highly he talks about wanting to be that because he used to talk about all the time. You talk about funding the rap battles. That adds to the confusion of how we're here now.
Right.
That's the confusion is we know you're of this elk. We know you can rap. How did we get to Hey Delilah? Like,
Yeah, I think Drake loves money more than he loves his spot in hip hop.
I agree.
I think he's trying to get as many bags as possible. He's probably a billionaire, close to it right
I
now.
don't want to say probably. I think
Yeah. And so I think he's more worried about that. It's just I don't want to turn this into a therapy session and talk about someone's immaturity, but he seems like a dude that's still fueled by thinking, having a lot of sex is like what makes you the coolest guy.
and it's like,
And
nah, bro.
grown-ups are kind of like maybe in like our 20s, but
You almost
you
40, big dog. What are
yeah,
you doing?
you up there. It seems like it's like the BBL Drizzy thing you were talking about. It's
Mm-hmm.
like he's like, "Oh yeah, I pay for a bunch of BBLs," and we're like, "You still think that's cool?" And we're trying to say that like
Like, what are you doing?
that's not really like
I paid for
Kendrick
your
was
butt. Go up on your way. Like,
like,
just get your woman of substance and keep it pushing. That's supposed to be the goal at this point.
yeah, it's just, I like sex just as much as the next guy, but it just seems like, and I think I don't want to call out another podcast, but it seems like when Joe Budden was just like, I want Drake to just I want to hear grown up bars from Drake. And the BBL Drizzy thing was just Drake saying, no, nope, I'm gonna keep just seeing,
Not doing
how
that.
many dudes girls I can fuck, and how many,
Yeah,
and it's
it's like
just
I don't
like,
know.
that's
That's weird.
cool.
That was cool when I was in high school.
Right.
Like
Like that's cool, but it gets old after a while. Like that whole, you get to like the midway through For All the Dogs, you're like, bro, like
why are you fucking so many young women?
like we get it, fam.
And why are they all breaking your heart? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I think even at this big age of mine, the idea of fucking numerous women is just kind of like, that sounds exhausting.
I'm not cut out for it.
I'm cool. I'm good on
You
that.
talked about your ankles not being good.
Yeah, bro. My ankles like you know
You gotta
how
rest.
I'll throw my knees out trying to do that. That's crazy.
Nah, you gotta rest, dude. Um, let's stay in the same name of ghostwriting and reference tracks and Drake and Kendrick. A reference track was leaked. Kendrick Lamar leaking, or Kendrick, I don't, Kendrick didn't leak it, but Kendrick Lamar reference track for Baby Keem was leaked. And this also doesn't make Drake look good. And I'm swear, if somebody just doesn't know us and they're listening to this shit, they're like, these dudes hate Drake. We don't.
We love Drake.
I love Drake. It's just, I feel like that's super important though. Like, you gotta be, it's like when you have really close friends and like you do something stupid, your friends are gonna make fun of you
Yeah.
because like we're cool like that.
You
I'm
know
like
how good
that.
you can be or how great you can be.
I'm like that with everybody. Like
Yeah.
even in the shit I'm a fan of. It's like I love Drake. If something came out, if Kendrick did something corny tomorrow, I'm gonna make fun of Kendrick
Mm-hmm.
because it's like no one's off limits. It's just Drake's just losing. He's just down bad right now. Um, I think this is funny because Drake had the line that said, uh, your shit's only fire if Baby Keem puts his pin to it. Turns out that's Kendrick Lamar, sir.
Yeah, no, he wrote that.
So you
That's his
just complimented Kendrick Lamar when trying to diss him. This is awkward.
I and it's I've heard, what's crazy is it's mainly Drake fans passing this around, be like, he's a hypocrite. That's
You're not
y'all
getting it?
y'all don't yeah, like Drake didn't get it. You're not getting it either. It's Kendrick's not saying that being a writer is a bad thing. It's just you can't claim to be a top rapper if you have people writing for you, which makes perfect sense to me. Uh Baby Keem is never came out and said I'm gonna be the best rapper ever. No, like what are we doing? I don't know.
Yeah, the fan saying he's a hypocrite. It's like it's not it's almost like a dog pile on Drake because especially that bar where he's like your shit's only fire when Baby Keem put his pin to it. That's actually Kendrick's pin. So
Yeah. So
this is weird.
you said it's double fire.
Like, yeah, um, no. I mean, maybe a reference track needs to come out for like Drake writing for Party or something.
I think Drake should just re-record "Sing About Me" and put it out and act like it's a reference. That's our best bet at this point.
Remember when I sent you this
Yeah,
shit?
no, I sent you that, bro. The link says it was made yesterday.
Dude, someone needs to do an AI of Drake doing Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. That would be crazy.
I just, oh, man, I don't know. It's been a weird year so far in hip hop. I really feel like Drake needs to sit down and just chill for a few months.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help with the theory saying that he needs to put out X amount of music. 'Cause it really looks like it right now.
Like for contractual agreements or
Correct.
contractual obligations, I mean.
Correct. Because since a month after we talked about all this, or this big beef popped off and you clearly lost, you've put out 2 songs since then, and they've been terrible. Like, sit down, please. Just sit down. That's all I want you to do. You're a great artist, one of my favorite artists. I want you to sit down. Just chill. Come back. Give
Yep.
me something in the fall. That'd be perfect.
A winter Drake project would be dope.
Yeah, give me a dope like fall winter project. I'm happy. But until then, sit down, go vacation, go relax, chill. Because I don't like what we're doing right now.
And
It feels like
you think
autopilot.
Kendrick needs to drop an album?
I think he needs to drop out in the next 3 months.
3 months.
I think 3 months. What 3 months put you at what September? Yeah, I think you dropped by then.
You know September.
I got to. He got a drop from my baby. Naturally. If it's fire, we're changing the name to King Kenny. Anyway.
This is Kung Fu Kenny.
My
Like, wait, what?
wife's looking at me crazy. Like, no, it's not. It's just
It's
mind
Kung
your
Fu Kenny.
business. It's no, I think in a and I think that Kendrick, I don't know how he's looking at it, right? You think that he's not just trying to take advantage of the beef because you think, oh no, I just want to do this for rap beef. But like anybody in their right mind would tell me you need to put out some music. Even if it's a little, give me a little 6, 7 pack and I'm happy. I think you
He
should put out a full album, but you need to do something.
he would really bank off this time right now.
You look like you're on top of the world, and you're already quiet. The only thing you do is put out music, which I actually like, but you got to do something. I need to hear something.
That's a good point. That's also another side of it that I don't think is talked about enough is he's just putting out music.
That's it.
You don't see him anywhere else.
Ever since this all started, you've never seen him anywhere. All you've seen is tweets saying this song drop, this song drop, this song. That's it. And Drake, one of the things I'm just not a fan of, and some people love it. So this might be a personal thing. I just leave the memes alone. Stop teasing stuff on Instagram. Stop talking crap on Instagram, leaving captions, talking like you're doing too much. It almost looks desperate.
I think Drake has always, and rightfully so, has had this confidence about him. Because, like we were talking about to start this, he's been at the top for years now. And now is not a time where that confidence carries over.
Yeah.
It's,
The
there's
confidence
gonna
looks weird now.
there's a time and place for everything, but he's gonna be fine though.
Of course, yeah. Just some things in the moment look funny in the light.
That is true. No, that's a good point.
It's just like you need. That's why I said just sit down. It's cool. Like make us miss you. That's what we need right now.
Just like go away because he's never really gone away.
Never. He's had moments where he's been quiet for a few months, but he needs to be at his quietest right now. Just chill, cook up something fire, and then, like I said, fall winter, give us the biggest album of the year. That's how you fix this conversation.
Absolutely. Well, let's stay in the name of beef. Cardi B versus Bia, the real beef. um,
First and foremost, nobody can be for Cardi B. I won't allow it.
Yeah, so let's before we get into the segment, let's announce our biases.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, I don't have any. Go.
So me, I'm not gonna say I have any bias, but if Cardi B drops any diss song, it's the best thing I ever heard in my life. Non-biased. She can breathe on a track. Just put a picture on Instagram and you won. That's it. That's all I need. I'm good. So
Your allegiance to Cardi B is something that needs to be studied.
somebody's got to do it, right? I have a few. Cardi B, SZA. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the two.
I'll murder anybody for this. I want to be clear. So it's not.
I'll split wigs.
I'm just being clear. I'm not saying it's a bias. I'm just telling you where I stand.
I'm not biased. I will just catch a body. SZA or Cardi B.
Has nothing to do with looks.
Cardi B and Bia. First question. Did you hear the 2023 track from Bia called Fall Back? And then Cardi B's Enough track that came out like a few months ago.
So first and foremost, I only hear anything Cardi B.
Okay.
I did not hear the Bia track. I did hear the Cardi B track.
So they both start exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same drum cadence, the same okay. And Bia, came out first. So I think that's where the kind of beef, I think that's where it took a step forward on top of women just hating each other.
I would say okay is like a wild thing to be like, nah, you still in my sauce.
I have to, it's like it's the same bounce. Okay. I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna show you. It's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna play Cardi B first because I know
I know that off the top of my head. You don't need to play that.
Okay, so the Enough record, right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure I wanted to, and then this is the Bia record. So like similar bounce.
It's similar, but I think the cadence is different, but the same type of bounce.
But yeah, sure. And I'm not even trying to put so much weight on that, but I think that is what kind of pushed things to another level. But the whole thing is so messy because Bia made a bar about, party writing Cardi B's raps.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
then Bia has been on record saying that someone writes for her. She did a thing where she's like, I think a Glorilla reference track came out. There's reference tracks you can listen to for Bia records.
Okay.
And Bia came out and said, I don't really care who writes the song as long as the song's good. So I don't know how you can say anything.
I'm not sure if we've heard a lot of that, like people saying, "Oh, somebody wrote for you," and people write
Yeah,
for
it's
them.
like some
You
people can't tell you shit.
You should leave that alone. That's not for you to say. You can't say that. Like
Um,
Pusha T diss Drake. I hate that. I feel like I'm dogpiling on Drake. It made sense. I've never heard
yep.
Pusha T reference track ever in my life, and I don't think I ever will. So you can
No,
say that. It doesn't make sense to me.
I'll say this. Let's leave ghostwriting out of it. Let's leave party out of it. The women rappers are going crazy. They're
Stupid.
rapping better than the dudes.
Oh, easily
Like Glorilla
crazy.
is going insane.
She's not missing, which is at all
The amount of talent in the women rap game right now is crazy.
crazy.
Lotto, Glorilla.
Oh, I forgot. Lotto's on my bias list as well.
Okay, got you. Lotto, Cardi, Nicki, like I mean, Meg can put out a
Yeah.
verse that's crazy.
Oh, she put an album cover. Her album's coming out later on this month. It's one of the worst album covers I've ever seen in my life, but
Oh,
you
I
know,
haven't seen it. Is it? Why is it bad?
it's horrible. It looks like I photoshopped it.
Oh,
It's
Meg
like
the
I don't know.
Stallion.
I got to be biased
New.
coming from Houston, right? I try, but something you see
Yeah,
and just
she actually used to fuck with. She actually used to frequent some spots that I went to all the time.
mm. But
Um,
some things I'm just like, all right, fam, like we can do better than that. Let's
so
run that back.
Megan Morphosis.
Mm-hmm.
Fans divided over Meg the Stallion's self-titled album art.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all gonna let me see it or nah?
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
one of the fans divided because I'm like, what are you doing, fam?
I'm one of the fans divided.
Like I don't know. And to be fair, there's been some great albums with terrible cover art, and I hope this is one of them because I was not a fan.
I don't yeah, that's really the thing that I really wanted to just touch on is the women beef is crazy. Cardi B saying she's gonna sue Bia, which that's not gangster.
Yeah, no, that was weird. I didn't like that.
That's not
That's
gangster.
that's my bias. My bias.
No, you
Put
really
it to the
stepped
side.
outside your comfort zone for that
I
one.
feel weird. I'm sorry, by the way. But no, I just don't like that. Like, what are we doing here? It's
Yeah, I
like
don't.
this rap back. That's all we're supposed to be doing here.
And it
That's
seems
like
like
Drake's like, no, I'm gonna sue Kendrick for attacking my character. Like, fam, what are we doing?
and it seems like Cardi B stays suing people.
Yeah, she likes to sue people. I think Tasha
And
K still owes her like $1 bajillion.
yeah, she won that case. So maybe she's like, "Hey, I'll keep suing." But you can't sue in a rap beef.
She's trying to never put out a record ever again in her life.
Yeah, she just wants to get lawsuit money.
Enough lawsuits, I'm good.
But the way that Cardi B is rapping, man, that Enough record I still listen to.
I love it. I love that
And
record.
then the remix she just put out, the
Crazy.
Megan Thee Stallion remix, she said toes white like Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bar.
Even her line against Bia was crazy.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. Bia has a lot of flippable bars for it.
absolutely.
Sometimes you got to be careful how you're named because
Yeah.
there's so many flips available for that.
And I did listen to the Bia track, the Sue Me track, and I could have done without the chorus. There's like a half-ass chorus in it. Um, she's like, I see right through you, and seemed like very garage band type recorded chorus. The verses were cool. Um, there, I just the thing that really stuck out to me was when she made a reference to Party writing,
Yeah.
Partisan Fontaine writing, Cardi's music, and then I got to think, I'm like, didn't you put out some shit, or didn't you say some shit about people writing for you? And so I went to Google it, and I'm like, oh shit,
It's
that's hypocrisy, ma'am.
I listened to the song on her live, right? It was I didn't go to her live. It was
I know
already performed.
Cardi's not gonna be mad at you. Like you don't
No, I
have
just
to
want to
like.
clear.
He's
I just
like,
want to clear
I
that up.
didn't. It just popped on my shit.
I don't even know where her page is at. I don't even know how to spell Bia. Just want to be clear. Is, is there a
3
J in there? I
letters.
don't know.
I
I don't
think
care.
there's a silent Q.
But I could have went without it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was
The
cool,
commentary
but
at the end is what got me. Like
yeah.
I didn't think the song was good, but the commentary at the end, I think I gave you a little bit of that sauce. Pause. The By the way, me and my girls don't like your tats. We put it in the chat. All right, fam.
Ew.
I love watching artists listen to their songs on live because they be thinking that shit is fire.
Because
She's like,
nobody's telling them that it's not.
we saw your tats, like, fam, stop. Turn the speakers off. Get off live.
And I think Cardi had a bar, something like, they're taking pictures of me and going to the doctor and saying, I want this.
Shit. What doctor is making those? I'm gonna wait outside their building.
Excuse me, ma'am. You have a second to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
I'll put a table outside. You coming with me? Don't get it fucked up. We're gonna be right outside.
Right outside the BBL doctor's office is crazy. Just giving out pamphlets.
I'm selling cookies. Is this your
Hey,
phone number on the back? I mean, huh?
you guys ever get tired of having way too much money? Contact us.
I'll fix that.
You want to have a modest lifestyle when we are kind of, middle to upper class?
When's the last time you went to Chili's?
I had Applebee's yesterday. I'm not joking. I had Applebee's yesterday.
No,
Hey,
advertising crazy.
hey, with inflation, Applebee's is expensive, fam.
I can get you a Birkin. Don't worry about how it's spelled. Just ignore that part.
This is Perkin with a P. He's like, hey,
That's how you spell it. You ain't ever been to France, girl?
you.
What are we talking about? You gotta flip it. It's
Yeah.
all right.
But the one thing I really want to highlight is that I think the women are out here rapping better than the dudes.
Facts.
And just
It's been like that for a minute too.
on a consistency basis. Like obviously your Drake's, and the Kendrick beef was really good rapping, but like those are almost anomalies. And once you take that out and think about who's consistently putting out music in the women rap category and then the dude rap category, some dudes gonna get ate up. Some of these dudes could get really ate up by a Lotto, by a Glorilla for
It's been a couple
sure.
years. It's been like this though. It's not even new. It's been a minute.
Like here's the thing, my only and some people might disagree, but like my only hesitancy with women rap is when it gets really sexual. I'm like, I can't really get down with this.
Dog, it's Pride Month. You better get down with it.
She's just
You
like,
wildin'.
I'm a gobble his, and I'm like, yo.
I mean, you could just, swap it out the
But
gender.
what I'm saying is they're really taking almost a step back from that. There's some bars sprinkled in, but like these songs are just kind of like
Just rapping. Yeah.
I'm the shit type bars. And I'm
I feel
like,
like
ooh.
past couple years, maybe like 3 years ago, it was almost all that.
And what
And
really opened my eyes was when Lotto put out Sunday Service for Ice
that was
Spice.
crazy.
I was
Crazy.
like, oh,
Hard. I still
Black
that's my
Suburbans
gym
pull up
playlist.
like it's Sunday Service. Like, holy shit.
I'm telling you, I be hearing that at the gym, be want to throw some extra weight.
Yeah, no, that's really what I wanted to take away. But Cardi needs to keep rapping how she's rapping because she be rapping and I be overreacting, and I want to put her on some lists, and we'll get to some lists, okay?
Don't we always?
So let's get to this top five, okay?
Ooh.
In the spirit of beautiful women hip hop, let's do top five woman rappers.
Okay.
Let's do it. Um, this is now I have little sidebars for these, okay?
So do I.
I
There's got to
have
be a reasoning behind it.
yeah, okay. Um, give me your five. Let's start it off.
So number five, I got Lotto. Come on now.
Okay, so you going recency throwing it in there.
No, I've liked Lotto for a long time,
How long?
and her music
Put a
videos as
date
well.
on it.
At least the past couple years,
Okay.
I've been playing hella music videos in my house of Lotto.
I've been to your house where we've literally have enjoyed some of God's beautiful greenery
Oh
and
yeah,
just put on music videos
Mad Lotto.
while it's dark. I don't even know if music was playing.
Yeah, no. Just are you gonna take it off mute? Why?
We gotta talk. Like we got company over. Okay, so you got Lotto at five.
I got Lotto at five.
Okay, you know me, I'm hip hop, whatever. Five, I got Eve.
That's
Uh,
okay.
yeah.
So my top five's current. Let me be clear.
Okay, I did all time.
Okay. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Well then we'll you want to
So
do current?
just give me your five. Give me your five.
Okay, so we'll make it two. So you got top five current.
Yeah.
So from five to one, give me your just don't stop. Give me your five, give me your one, give me your sidebars. Let's
So
do it.
top five, I got Lotto. She rapping her
Okay.
ass off. Let's
Yep.
get crazy. Number four, I got Doja. Doja
Hmm.
Cat be going stupid, and I feel like people don't really pay attention to how well she's actually rapping.
I
Uh,
respect it.
it, I think we talked about this before. Being a huge pop artist, having that moment and deciding, now I'm gonna give you a full rap album is crazy to me. I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Number three, I have the queen, the woman, the legend, the greatest artist of all time, the person that uh, could
Really
just
molded you.
rap in my ear with no beat, and I'd be perfectly fine with it. She doesn't have to write it. It's okay. You just whisper. I don't care. The wonderful Cardi B. Shocker.
Yep.
Number two, I got Nicki, just because it's Nicki. Like, what do we? Nicki has some wild antics. That diss track she put out, Bigfoot, was one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life.
That
So
knocks you down a little bit.
yeah, no. She could have been number one, but nah, that was crazy. And number one, hella recency bias, Rhapsody.
There you
Just
go.
she's the best female rapper to me, without question. When we talked about the full scope of hip hop and what it means, it has to be Rhapsody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm gonna give you my top five woman rappers of all time.
Ooh, okay. I might
So you got
disagree.
your five, I got my five.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Number five, I got Eve. Um, three albums, a short-lived career, but we all know who else has a short-lived career that we still have in high regard.
Yeah.
But I got five, Eve. Blow Your Mind is still one of my favorite rap songs, period. And she was really talking that shit back in the 90s. Um, she just married to some billionaire white dude and just stopped rapping, which is
I think
I
that's
would do the same
wonderful.
thing,
No, it goes.
Number
Yeah, he could be a
four,
dude. I don't care. Billionaire.
number four, I got Cardi B. Okay.
Mm, wow, all time.
All time, I got Cardi B. I think what Cardi B
One
and
album.
well, that's like the mixtapes too, right?
Okay, that's fair.
But what Cardi B, and we also know who has one album, right? We also know. But what Cardi B has done, she's become one of my favorite rappers, period. The reason why she's lower is because the whole who writes her shit thing, right? We
That's
don't
fair.
know. So I'm going to assume that we're putting that aside and we're talking about what we hear whenever we turn on the songs. Cardi B raps at an unbelievably high level. Number three, I got Nicki Minaj. Okay.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj, I know when we talking, woman rappers, I know three is like it might be crazy low to some people, especially,
That's what I was about to say.
the big Nicki fans. Here's the thing. Nicki really transitioned to pop
That's fair.
and the rapping, like we're talking when I was in middle school, like the Roger That Nicki. Like when she was rapping, nobody could even fucking touch her. I think she got away from that because I mean, there's just money to be made elsewhere. And when you're doing songs like Super Bass and the Fly record with Rihanna, why would you rap? Number two, I got Missy Elliott. You want to
Hmm.
talk about a pioneer,
Yeah.
somebody who I think 6 platinum albums, something like that. Just not only as a rapper, but a producer. Putting on you know TLC records, putting on Aaliyah. Like super important. And I don't think that there's a bigger like producer and rapper combo in the woman category like Missy Elliott. So two. Number one, Iggy is it no. Number one, Lauren Hill, of course.
Ooh.
Again, with the whole Cardi B one album thing, Eve has only 3 albums. Lauren Hill's only got one album. I know she has the Fugees, and I understand that, but she got one solo album. And if she's gonna be one, then I can kind of make the same adjustment for other people.
But it's that one album is probably the
It's
best,
the number one album of all time,
according to Apple.
according to Apple.
One thing I will say, and I think we both can agree on, possibly, if depending on how you want to categorize that as hip hop. I know some people say that's not a hip hop
It's
album,
more like neo soul, hip hop. Yeah.
but if you put that in the hip hop category, that's the best female hip hop album of all time.
Yep.
So it's it's the it's an easy argument to make, I will say.
And me and you have had a conversation when we were just, just kicking it on Zoom, where we talked about Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. And I was saying if Nicki Minaj and Cardi B did a versus where like, the best record wins, I think some Cardi B records would be more towards the top than some Nicki records.
Yep.
Because Nicki's records, I mean, they're just in a battle format is interesting
Yeah.
because,
Like Super Bass does not
how
come
does
to
Super Bass compare to Bodak Yellow? Like,
Bodak Yellow is versus like Diamond.
yeah, no, not a whole lot of songs are beating that.
Just thinking about it now.
I'm just getting
We're gonna have to
emotional.
do we have to do that battle now.
Nicki, Cardi B.
I'll take Cardi, obviously.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm over here saying that Cardi B's a favorite, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna give you the underdog. I'm gonna take the favorite. Let's see what happens."
The number one song on there is me playing her strip club highlights.
Just, this is not even a song. This is just a compilation of Nicki walking. This is a compilation. That's crazy. Um, yeah. So that's our top 5 current and top 5 all time. Um,
We gotta talk
now, I
about it
mean,
now.
we gotta talk about it now. And I want to make sure to give you your runway to really get this shit off. And what we are talking about, Eminem, Marshall Mathers put out a new song called Houdini. And it's man, I think it got like 18 million views in a day or some shit like that on
Yeah,
YouTube.
bring up those stats first. Let's start with that.
um he has an album coming out. This is the single. I don't really have much else to say about it. But
That shit is ass. It's ass. Let's just say it. It's ass. It's disappointing. You want to talk about somebody being immature in hip hop? Like 50 years old trying to rap. And at this point, and it's always been that way. These are just like cloudy bars. And in today's world, like bro, like what are we doing here? Like the whole bar about Megan Thee Stallion, is first and foremost, don't talk about black women like that, big dog. Let me get that out
chill
there.
out, Marshall.
Yeah, relax, Marshall. Sound a real January 6-ish. Uh, but I think as a person that grew up throughout the entire Eminem career, and I can speak for most hip hop fans. At some point, Eminem was in my top 10 of all time.
Yep.
When we talk about how rappers who put out X amount of albums and pass about what could have happened after the fact, this is the perfect example of how bad it can get after the first couple albums. Because my God, has that man? He's nowhere near my top 10 now. He's fallen off of a cliff. His career has been very disappointing to say the least, and his music just aged very poorly. And it seems like he's been not able to mature his music with the times. Because this song could have came out in 2004, maybe performed a lot better. But here we are in 2024, hearing the same shit from a much older rapper. So
Uh,
disappointing to say the least.
this is okay. So I will start off with some not so negative stuff. Out of all the Eminem singles recently, this might be one of the better ones, and that's not good. But um, he wasn't rapping a billion miles a minute. Even his tone was a little because Eminem now has such a almost ear piercing voice.
Yeah,
When he says, "I can swallow up, bottle up, alcohol," like no one wants to. Like tonality is important in hip hop, and
Kendrick taught us
that
that.
that's not a that's not a voice we want to hear. This one he kind of toned that down, and it was more chill. So I'll say that. Um, when I say, and I'm gonna speak for myself because I'm not gonna speak for anyone else. When I say I want the old Eminem back, this is not what I'm talking about. This is an exact replica of Without Me.
Yeah,
That music video where he's dressed like Robin.
the comic book
This
type,
looks like a time for me, so everybody, yeah, like this is a duplicate of that song.
and a much worse version of it.
Absolutely. Um, I don't care too much about the shock value, attention grabbing, trying to be edgy bars. Like talking about Meg the Stallion getting shot in her foot, cool. Talking about R. Kelly peeing on people, cool. Like
Real weird right now.
it's just it's clear that you're you know the temperature, and people are like, I want old Eminem back. This is not what we're like. That old Eminem we're cool with, because who's really listening to that shit now?
Yeah, no,
Like who's listening to a dude just um he's sitting there writing his bars and he's like, ooh, this is such a touchy subject, I should do 4 bars about it. Like,
and it's one thing I can say is out of all big hip hop artists we've had in the history of hip hop, he probably has the most unlistenable discography of all time.
yeah, no, it's true,
He
just
just makes
because
terribly.
when we're God, it's almost the same conversation that we had about Drake in a way. It's just when we're young and we hear someone that's saying shit that no one else wants to say or is scared to say, we're like, there's a shock value, and there's like, oh my God, this dude really tells it like it is. He's not scared. But then when you grow up and you grow up, like I got a kid now. I'm,
Yeah.
you grow up and you're just like, it's cool. Like I'm cool with like joking around about shit, when I'm with my friends and whatnot. But to make a record about it, it's just kind of like,
I want
I
to bop.
guess
Yeah, like I don't. I'm not trying to bop my head to this.
that was my next point. Who's like bumping this is my question.
Yeah.
Because that's what judges like the Not Like Us record by Kendrick. That song is bumping everywhere.
Mhm.
Who's really playing this? And that's the only people that are going to be attractive, the only people that are going to be attracted to this song are, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, white people who complain about PC culture. Those are the only people that are going to like this record. And ironically, that's 90% of his fans,
Yeah.
and that's
Which is, to be
sad.
fair, is a large fan base.
Huge. Yeah. And it's so funny because actual Eminem is not, he like he I'm not trying to make it political, but he hates Trump. He doesn't
Yeah.
like I think one of the Republican candidates was using his record as like a walkout song, and Eminem was like, I didn't give you permission to use my shit, don't use my shit.
Yeah.
So
It's
he's
like
not like that. But his fan base is so them though.
and that because that's what M does and how he does is very Trumpish.
Yeah,
In the
like
sense of
shit.
I don't care if I offend you. I don't care. It's I don't know. The world has changed and Eminem has not changed with it. That's kind of what it comes down to.
And we're gonna get to we're gonna get to the top five, our top five Eminem songs. And these are the songs that I want Eminem to go back to. Like, this is when I say old Eminem, these are the songs that I want to hear. And because I mean, the like when I go back and listen to Eminem, which is very seldom, like I don't listen to it, but when I do go back, it's the records that like made you fucking feel something, like the records
Yeah.
that meant shit, like the ones where you're just calling out everybody, dissing everybody. It's like that's cool, but there's no lasting effect with it. Like
Right. Yeah.
it
Once you
doesn't.
hear it a few times, it's like, all right, cool. That's I'm done. I'm over it.
Did you finish this record, the Houdini song?
I did.
I didn't listen to the. I didn't
I
listen to
listened
the
to
whole
it
thing.
again this morning. I didn't finish it this time, but I listened to it this morning.
Were you trying to
And
vibe? Were you at least trying to vibe with it?
yeah, I was trying. I was trying to catch some type of vibe, and I was just like,
LeBron likes it.
well, Bron likes anything, and he's never rapped ever to it again. You see, he like has the lyrics up in front of him. He's like, yeah, they're not rapping the correct lyrics. Like that's who he is.
Yabba dabba doo, don't go to Old Navy.
Yeah.
When he was singing the Black record. Um, but nah, LeBron tweeted, so it's got to be good. Um, so let's
Hey,
get into this. Let's not focus on the negative. Let's go back to the positive. All
all right.
right, and let's do top five Eminem songs. Give me your five.
All right. So my five might sound hypocritical. I'm not gonna lie to you, based off.
After all we just said.
Hey, but it's not in that same threshold, but it teaches the line, right? So five, I'm a concept guy, right?
Yep.
I love the song "Guilty Conscious."
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's not there, but it's the concept of that song is amazing to me. I think it's very well done, very well put together. Uh, it's a fun record, but there's a concept to it.
You are a sucker for the concept songs.
Yes, so that song got me.
Yeah. And I got something along those lines coming up. But my five, I got Beautiful
Okay.
off of Relapse. Just such a soulful song. Um I think at this time this was off Relapse before Recovery, and this is probably the only legit record. All the other songs were super like grotesque,
Mm-hmm.
but this was like the only real hip hop record off of that album. And crazy flow, just real bars, nothing, no double entendres, no wordplay, just really spitting that shit, talking about the issues of being who he is and what he's been through. And I got Beautiful at five. Number four, I got Toy Soldiers.
Okay. You
It's
almost made it.
song about Proof,
Yeah.
song about Proof dying, which I think truly affected him. Um, song that one of the songs might make you cry if it catches you on the right day.
Yeah.
But again, just a real fucking record. Talks about the Ja Rule beef, talks about all the shit, how he wish he could stop beefing because people are dying. Real shit. What you got it for?
So four, I got Mockingbird.
Yep. I figured that
Once
was gonna
again,
be somewhere.
talking about something. I think that Eminem Substance is a top 10 rapper. We just don't get it very often. So within that same threshold, number three, I got Superman.
Ooh.
Um, Same concept. It's just we got something to rap about. It just I don't know. I was listening to Eminem's a couple of his albums, right? I'm making this list. And part of the stuff that ruins the albums for me is like I'll hear Superman come on, and then I'll hear the worst song in the world come on after. And I hate how the vibe switches. Like if he gave me an album with just this, it would easily fall into his best album.
Fire. Yeah. Um. Okay. At three, I got Cleaning Out My Closet.
Mm.
Um, just something that was super amazing. How he can make a song so personal and talking about shit that is just relative in his life, and one of the biggest songs.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a talent, and I think that was one of the things that I think Eminem could say that not a lot of people can is that he made songs about shit no one could relate to, and if you could relate to it, get help.
Yeah.
But and it fucking worked.
He made
And
people feel his pain even if they hadn't gone through it.
right, like I love my mom. My mom's
That's a
cool.
skill. Yeah, that's a skill to be able to do that.
All right. Number two, I got The Way I Am.
Okay.
Um, just raw energy, just kind of I'm sick of this shit, and really you can tell that he's going through some shit, went in the booth and screamed that shit. um so I got The Way I Am at two. What you got?
Our lists are very different. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
For two, I got Lose Yourself.
Mm.
I played football in the early 2000s.
You got to
Uh,
understand that.
yeah, no, that's an important factor in all of this. That album or that song rather played loudly right before football games. That was my shit. So
Your palms were sweaty.
my palms were super sweaty. I even
Yep.
threw my mom spaghetti. So my mom made fire spaghetti. Side note, anyways. But no, Lose Yourself is my shit from that.
Guess you give me your one.
One, I got Stand.
Yep. No, me too.
We're just we talked about concept, right? Like I've Stand first that birthed a term that's commonly used today, but
Right. It created a word.
the concept of that song is insane. Just even when you get to the end, he's writing that letter back, like, "Hey, bro, you need help." But wait, oh shit, that was you. Like that's such a well written song. I like the concept of it. Well, the concept's always gonna get me. That's one
Yeah.
of the best hip hop songs of all time, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I was just gonna say, if you're making a best hip hop song list,
It's gonna
that's
be
towards the top.
yeah, that might be top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know of a better song, and I think even that's the type of Eminem that I want back.
Yeah,
Like I want that shit,
you're never gonna get it back because I don't think he knows that.
and it's so crazy. It's like,
But I think when people say you age out of hip hop, I think that's what they're referring to almost. It's like you are just not at a point because this type of Eminem doesn't exist anymore. He's very wealthy. He's been rich for a very long time. He's not doing drugs anymore. He's sober. What do you have to rap about that's going to be relatable, but also be something that's going to make us feel something? That's hard to do. I think Jay-Z is probably the oldest rapper that tried it with 444, which, it's a decent album, but it's still, it's probably one of the weaker albums on his catalog.
I just wish he would fix his voice. That's it. Like I think I could really give it a good try if Eminem would just stop the I can swallow a bottle of alcohol. Like no, like fix your because back at like he had a that's gonna sound it's Pride Month. He had a great voice back in the day. Like he had a rapping voice.
Yeah, his voice did something for you?
You know,
Pride Month.
stop. I'm an ally.
Hell yeah.
Um, he went his voice. There was like maybe it was the drugs or whatever, but like there was pain.
I think it,
There was pain in his shit. Like he would get in the booth and like that energy. I just don't think he can create again.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think once you're successful for so long that for some people that goes away. You've life's been going too well, if that makes sense.
I just and that's what makes me. Have you heard of the Eminem cloning conspiracy theory that like there's like he was cloned and this is like a new Eminem and the old Eminem overdosed and died?
No, tinfoil hat time. What's up?
Right. Well, no, well, they're saying like he just looks so different, and obviously it's weight loss off of drugs, but we're not going to talk about that. But like, he looks so different, and he's from what I'm saying, he sounds so different that people are like, oh, he was cloned, and the real Eminem died, and this is the new one.
Why is it that only people in hip hop get cloned? Like that's the only thing I want to.
Never any doctors.
No,
Never.
no, no. We need more rappers.
We
Clone them.
need. We can't live without an Eminem. We need to make another one.
There's 17 million rappers in the world. Clone this one. We need that.
No, and stop rapping fast. I get it that I get
Rap
it
God.
that but thing is, we have to understand we're from the South where things are slow,
But
and Midwest things are sped up.
I just want to be clear. Name all the rappers from the Midwest, or the best rappers at least.
I think you got to think Eminem if you're talking about that. Tech Nine. I'm thinking of rappers that rap fast. Um, Midwest. I mean, there's
Now name me the best
Royce.
rappers from the Midwest.
Kanye's Midwest.
Royce the 5'9", Common. None of these people
Royce.
rap like that. Big Sean. None of these people rap like that.
Where's Twista from?
He's from Chicago, so he's in that ballpark.
Okay,
But
there you go.
that's a big drop down the list. Like, let's be real.
Where's Busta from? New York?
New
He's from
York,
New
New
York.
York.
Yeah.
He's New York.
I just think Eminem really just latched on
Rap,
to that, and I don't know
Rap
why.
God did irreversible damage to Caucasian rappers around the world. I just want to be clear.
I was gonna say that there's a weird connection between white rappers and rapping fast. Like there's just
It's Rap God.
something
Rap
got
God
them.
did it. That was the one.
Rap God was a nuclear
They
bomb.
heard Rap God and they're just like, this is the way I'm gonna rap for the rest of my life.
That shit's like, if you did an Eminem 20, Rap God's not on there.
Not even close. Not top 50. I could do a top 50 without Rap God. I'm pretty positive.
So with Eminem's catalog being so unlistenable, if Eminem did a versus, who would you put him against?
That's a really tough battle because you typically want to put to somebody that's comparable. There's nobody comparable to him whatsoever.
Maybe to his credit.
No, it's because the type of music you made, there's nobody else that's that successful that made that type of music.
I made a video on TikTok and on YouTube. It got quite a bit of views and a lot of comments where I you know what I'm saying? What can I say? It was comparing Eminem and Nas. And I said, because it was two dudes arguing, and on TikTok you can like stitch yourself in.
Yeah.
And so two dudes were arguing, and then one dude said Eminem doesn't have classics like Nas. And then I stitched in and I said, this is an interesting take because I feel saying a statement like Eminem doesn't have classics like Nas, I feel it's so easy to say right now because Nas is on the up and M's on the down, right? So I think it's easy to say. I don't know if I agree with that statement or not.
Not true.
But so then I got me thinking, who do you think Eminem versus Nas in a versus 20 records?
First and foremost, I think that's sonically that'd be a terrible listen. But
well, Eminem, just listening to Eminem just by himself is not the best listen.
But I think if we break that down, Eminem probably wins that.
You think?
Like, think about we had 2 songs that were the same on our list. Is that about right?
Oh, we only had Stan. Yeah, we only had Stan.
Oh, we only had Stan?
Yeah, that's the only song we had.
So give me those 9 songs against Nas' top 9 songs, and don't forget that we left out a lot of M features. Like, forgot about Dre.
Yep.
You could throw in "Love the Way You Lie" with Rihanna.
I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna make you seem like an Eminem stan.
I hate you.
I could really manipulate this.
But I think that, and the type of music Nas makes doesn't do well in the verses is my guess, because that's also a factor.
It'd be interesting, but just finding him a opponent would be.
It's gonna be top. Finding him a top 20 would be weird.
Yeah, because it's like when real Slim Shady comes on.
But how do you even?
How do you even like judge that?
Kind of we talked about like the top 100 albums. How do you even compare this to New York State of Mind? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
You better not play Real Slim Shady against New York State of Mind. I'm choosing Nas every time.
What I'm saying is that it's like a completely different genre.
It really is, though.
It's like it's
like you even on this new Eminem record, you even listen to the beat and you're like, what part of hip hop is this? Because it's like a high BPM, like it's 90, 94, 96 ish, and it's like that's not really hip hop. Like that's not really a tempo that we use. Like you got to think like Kendrick and like the Kendrick Not Like Us record, like that's West Coast, so that's like higher BPM. So that's kind of around the same BPM of like this new record, but Eminem's taking it and doing something completely different with it. So it's so weird.
Like I said, M has his own genre, and that's where the fast rap people rap in.
It's like, no, that's like the shit when you turn on your keyboard and you just hit the play of the stock songs Like the songs that are just in the keyboard, like that's the one that plays. Anywho, let's we talked about Eminem and
Let's move on.
hopefully
Yeah, no, I'm done with
we'll wait till the album comes out.
it. Or not.
Uh let's get on to basketball. Not a whole lot to go over because we're in a lull as we wait for the finals to start in 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
That's going to be great.
Fun finals.
Do you have any and we kind of talked about it last pod. We kind of talked about, you're going with the Celtics just because you had the Celtics preseason.
Yeah, and
Uh
Porzingis is back game one healthy. They finally announced that. I love the fact that both teams got rest before we start this series, so it's gonna be fun.
did you hear Chandler Parsons? Shout out Chandler Parsons. He's trying his best to be the JJ Redick Patrick Beverly commentator where he's like trying to spill the beans on some
Yeah,
beefs. But apparently there's some beef according to Chandler Parsons. I don't know if you want to believe Chandler Parsons,
I
but
don't.
apparently Luka and Porzingis like hate each other.
So Luca actually came out and spoke to that this morning.
Oh shit.
He
Like,
literally
see,
said
you have so much. You're like on the news. I gotta get social media.
he was like, I talked to Chandler Parsons 2 times. I don't know how he came up with that. I love Porzingis.
That's my boy.
What are we doing here? Like, even if Luca's lying, it doesn't matter. You sound stupid now.
Yeah,
He's
he's.
like, I don't know how he came up with this. I only talked to him like twice in my life. Like,
I've seen him. I've seen him a couple clips from Chandler Parsons, but he's really trying to
I mean,
grab the
the way you do
fans.
it is say the most outlandish things, and even if it's true or not.
Rockets announcer Ryan Hollins. He had a little career doing that before he became a play-by-play
I wish
commentator.
you would go back to it because I hate listening to him play by play. So
Dude,
let's
no,
work on
actually, y'all are alike because
no what? Relax,
no,
relax,
he
relax,
has when he's commenting for his team, every player is the best in the league at something.
relax,
It'd be
relax.
like Aaron Holiday. Like Aaron Holiday is one of the best spot up 3-point shooters in the league. It's like, how do you even know that?
That's not even accurate. He's just
Like,
saying stuff.
he's just like,
First and foremost, I have a hairline. Mine's not made up like Ryan Hall. So let's
oh
chill.
shit, oh
Let's
shit.
chill. Like, let's calm down, big dog. I hate Ryan Holland's voice on play by play. So he can go somewhere. Go back to being a hot take guy that nobody cares about. But I mean, hot takes, whether factual or not, works. Stephen A. Smith does it all the time.
He just be saying shit.
He be saying whatever from my trusted sources, aka like I say, the streets, Twitter. I saw somebody tweet this, so it's got to be accurate.
Yeah, whenever Jordan hits me up, he says the streets are saying. I'm like, oh, he saw a tweet. He saw a tweet because there's no streets.
That's all I need. I don't know who the tweet's from. I don't know the profile. It's fact now.
Yeah,
I get it right sometimes. That's the ironic part about
yeah,
this.
no, you're not wrong. The sports reporting is so interesting because you'll see a breaking news story, and then it'll say some shit like Porzingis and Luka hate each other, and then in 2 weeks you'll see another story about how they're like really good friends,
Yeah.
and you're like, did you not forget what y'all just posted 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it'd be the same reporter too.
Like,
I've always known they've been friends. No, you didn't.
no, like it's actually wild how it'll be opposite ends of the spectrum. It'll say, this player is not going to sign an extension. He's not going to sign his contract. 2 weeks later, signs an extension. It's just like, fam, you don't think we saw that?
Well, the world moves so fast, they can get away with it. That's kind of how it breaks down.
So for the Celtics and Mavericks, I know like I said I got Mavericks in 6 or 7. You said Celtics in 7. Are you any second guesses? You 10 toes
I'm not
down?
wavering. I'm not wavering. 10 toes down.
The first game. How do you think the first game is gonna go?
Oof.
Thursday.
Give me a Celtics dub first game.
First game, Celtics dub.
Set the
Who's gonna
tone.
be the leading scorer?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, leading scorer, Celtics dub game 1. Might as well just clip this and just
Place a bet.
place it.
I got you.
How many points did Jaylen Brown score?
Oh, shit.
He's gonna lead. He's gonna lead the game in scoring. So you got to have a pretty big number.
I think we're gonna have a well spread effort. Give me 31.
31, Jaylen Brown, and a Celtics dub. If this happens, we going to Vegas, my guy.
Say less.
Um, yeah, I'm doubling down. I think it's the Celtics' time. And then their question I want to ask you: if Jason Tatum performs better than Luka,
He won't.
okay. No, just hear me out here.
We'll
Let's.
continue. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're good. If Jason Tatum performs better than Luka and the Celtics win a championship, does that put Jason Tatum ahead of Luka in any conversation?
No.
Really?
Just because you got to look at the full dynamics of things. Jason Tatum has hardly been the best player on his team this entire playoffs.
But we talking about right in when it matters most. I don't care if he didn't show up. I mean, because him not showing up is so like first world problems because he showed up, it just wasn't flashy.
Well, yes, but let me say this. When you say outperform Luka, I need what's the disparity?
We're gonna watch every single game. Okay. And we are going to see Luka and we're going to see Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum is clearly the better player and has better numbers. And the Celtics win the championship. No Jaylen Brown. No Jaylen Brown taking over and being the best player. I mean, there's some of that's going to happen, of course, because it's basketball. But Jason Tatum clearly has the better series in whatever way you measure that. And Celtics win. Does that put Jason Tatum ahead of Luka in these rankings that we do, because it seems like they're pinned against each other a lot,
which I don't even think it's fair because I think Luka does so much more than Jason Tatum.
Does different stuff.
Well, different, but I think his different totals out to more personally.
Right.
I would say right now I have it where he's in front of Tatum with a
couple spots, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a huge difference, but there's some room.
Because we both agree Luka's 2, right?
You said what? I'm sorry.
Luka's 2, right? Like as far as like best player in the league, Jokic is 1, Luka's 2. Who'd you have at 2?
I might have him at 2.
Like I have him at 2.
He's top 3 for sure. I'll say that.
And then Tatum's sitting at like the
bottom
4, 5, 6.
I can see 5, 6 somewhere around.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So there's some room. I think he gets him much closer. Like if Luka's 2, that might put him at 3. Or hey, there's a conversation for him to be 2, and we got to talk about it. I think the conversation gets a little different. Yes, obviously you have to consider that. Once you win a championship, things change. Like Giannis moved up drastically on the list once he won a championship. Rightfully so. Like it's the hardest thing to do. It's the one goal you have to do. You win one, you're good. Like that's your one. I guess you can make the argument. I don't know if I'll have him higher just because I got to see how far the difference is that he outperforms him. And then I can make that decision. But you could make the argument that he takes a step above him, but I don't think so.
The finals will tell all. We'll have to see what happens there. Let's get to the NBA draft is this month.
Yeah.
So we got to start breaking down these prospects.
26th, 27th, my guy.
What is the best way to break this down? Let's talk about the number 1 pick, okay, which is held by Atlanta. Who do you think in this questionable, to say the least, draft class? Who do you think? Also, before we get into that, let's talk about this draft class, okay? Before we just say who the number 1 pick should be. So I was watching this clip.
Okay.
And they said, this draft class is like the 6th or 7th guy going number 1. The 6th or 7th best guy in other drafts going number 1. But then I got a question. What about like these superstars that get drafted at like 12?
That's what I'm saying. Like you could still get somebody. I understand the logic of like, hey, this draft is pretty weak. I get it. Because I'll be honest with you, most of these guys I've never heard before a day in my life, which normally that's not the case. I usually have heard of the top 5 guys, and then after that, I've heard of 1 and 2 guys here and there. I don't like these people this is the weirdest draft I've seen. But when was Jokic drafted? When was Giannis drafted?
During a Taco Bell commercial.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's hard to make that argument because we've been wrong so many times.
I think it's stupid.
So you just take the best person that fits your team that looks like the most potential. And right now, me personally, I say that's Alex Sarr.
Yep, I agree.
He looks the most
He
versatile. His game seems like it's the most complete, but like I said, things got to work themselves out.
My pro comparison to Alex Sarr is Evan Mobley. I think they're built exactly the same.
Mhm.
They both are kind of great defenders. He's trying to develop a 3-point shot, but in Atlanta, I think it's definitely a good fit with
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Clint Capella getting older, and he's on a decline in minutes.
Absolutely.
I think it's worth something new. Alex Art isn't the number one player on my draft board,
Really?
but he's two. He's two for me.
You guys won.
I have Nikola Topic at
Oh,
one.
okay.
Um,
Good jump.
he's going top three in most drafts. But I if you're gonna keep Trey Young, Trey Young's not going anywhere. Uh, and I think why get a point guard like Nikola Topic? I
Yeah,
think um, Nikola Topic. I think he's probably going to go number two because I think he's especially if Luca wins the finals or does really or everyone knows Luca. I think it would influence you to get someone like Nikola Topic,
that's fair.
a bigger dude. I think he's 6'5", 6'6" at point guard. Very solid game all around. Not great everywhere, but good everywhere. Um, I think Washington sitting at two will be interesting because they need some fundamentals
They need
with
anybody.
Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma on your team. You need fundamentals, and I think he's a perfect pick for two. But Alex Sarr, Atlanta, number one. I think that's probably a shoe in. You can
Yeah,
go ahead and get that tattooed.
button book that.
But Evan Mobley, pro comparison. So I think about having Evan Mobley in Atlanta. I think that helps them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that uh, if, like I said, this isn't the greatest draft in the world, but even if you take this guy, let's just look at this from perspective. They're saying even if Atlanta had the number 6 pick and they're getting this guy, that's a win regardless. So
Absolutely.
um, I think it works out for Atlanta very well.
And then we'll in the next coming pods we'll get more down the list, and then we'll have a good time watching the draft and wonder what the Rockets do with that third pick. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
But
I don't like any of the trade packages I've seen so far. So
you get
worst
mad.
case,
You get
worst case,
mad.
draft somebody. Let's do it.
What's a trade package that pissed you off?
Trade package that pissed me off was
I want to see it's the one that I saw.
this is the worst one I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
This was the number 3 pick,
Uh
Dylan Brooks,
uh.
Alfred Sengun, and Jay Sean Tate from Mikael Bridges.
Okay, that's not the one I saw. I saw one for Jerry and Grant.
Wait, what? Why?
Jerry and Grant from Portland. I mean, he averages like 20 something a game, but like it was like the third pick and a couple players. I don't remember the players for Jerry and Grant. It's like,
That's crazy.
hey yo.
That's we got Jabari Smith. We'll be all right. He
um,
ain't him, but like he's close enough. We'll be all right.
yeah. So I want this is interesting. So I as men, we love to sit around and just throw out random players who we were fans of in any sport, football, basketball, whatever. And it's just fun to go down memory lane and just think about these players. So I got top five favorite random players all time. And the caveat here is you were fans of them and they might not have been the best player, but you were rooting for them. Um, I'll start it off. My number five, I got Charlotte Bobcats Gerald Henderson.
Okay.
Boy was a mid-range assassin and could get up on your ass and slam one. Gerald Henderson from the Bobcats. Love those jerseys, by the way. The Charlotte Bobcats
Oh
jerseys,
yeah, the
cold.
classic ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, who you got at five?
All right. So 5. This is 5 and 4. You'll see my era of watching Kobe at a
Yeah,
young
yeah,
age,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So there's because I watched Kobe so much, I saw a couple players that maybe some people didn't pay attention to, but necessarily weren't bad. Number 5, I got Derek Fisher.
Yeah. Yep.
Just he was just such a great
The
sidekick.
shot was like His
Yes.
shot was off to the side.
And that little 0.3 second shot and run out the
Yeah.
stadium. Oh, classic. Classic. And then at number
Uh,
4, speaking of the same threshold, I at some point in time tried to mirror my shot directly after him because I thought it was unstoppable. Peja Stojakovic.
Peja.
I thought his shot was flawless. It was so weird. If you would have took me in the driveway, I could knock down any shot from anywhere. If I go to an actual court, good luck. I don't know what's going to happen. But in my driveway, I was flawless because of Peja Stojakovic. I just copied his form.
Your game was built for the streets. What can we say?
Yeah, that's it. Twitter streets.
I wanted to put Peja Stojakovic on my list, but I remember us having the conversation about Peja Stojakovic. I was like, Jordan's gonna have him, so I'm gonna leave him off my list. I'll let you sole claim. All right, number 4, I got Earl Boykins, man,
Ooh.
5'5" point guard. I became a huge fan watching the Denver Nuggets, Carmelo, J.R. Smith, and Earl Boykins. That was such an electric team, and this dude was just held it down. And obviously, me being short, I got a thing for short for short players. I'm a
Hey,
fan.
yo.
I'm a fan. But I got Earl Boykins at 4. Number 3, former Rocket and street ball legend. I got Rafer Alston.
Ooh, I was thinking about putting him on my list. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
Rafer Alston. Such an amazing story from literally was playing street ball to the NBA. Nothing like it. What do you got at 3?
All right. So at 3, I got Ben Wallace.
that's
Just
that's more your game.
just as I got older and I was one of the larger people on the court, I was like, I just got to play like Ben Wallace, and that's it. He was crazy, slightly violent. I loved it. When I played basketball, I like to be slightly violent, and you try to be violent with me, I don't want to fight you. Let's do this. I'm excited now. Uh, I love that type of game. It's relentless. It's very
Couldn't hit a free throw, but didn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Try to score on me, see what happens. Like I love that style of play.
Let's go.
At number 2, I got my man Moochie Norris. Big shot Moochie at this point. Just almost where did he come from? Um, what is he doing here? Why is he hitting so many big shots? That's just all I can think of. That was one of my favorite players growing up, just because like he wasn't great, but hey, in a Rockets jersey, he was bodying people.
Game over. My 2, I got Michael Redd.
Oh,
A
okay, I like that.
bucket. A bucket. One of those dudes where he'll have some games where we're like, are we wrong? Is he the best player in the world? Just a automatic shot and unbelievable. And then I'm gonna give you my 1, and then you give me your 1.
Okay.
My 1, I have his jersey still in my closet. A teammate of your Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, man.
Okay.
Tayshaun Prince, an elite defender, light skin assassin.
That boy
He
was
was
ultra light skinned.
he
He was a
was
different
doing
level.
chase down blocks just like Braun did in the finals. Had a good 3-point shot, was just the ultimate role player, guarded every position on the court, wherever he was up until his last stint in Minnesota during the very end of his career. I followed Tayshaun Prince wherever he went. I have his jersey in my closet still, and that's
What was
to
built
have a Tayshaun Prince jersey is
crazy.
crazy.
He was built like a toothpick and also was the color of a toothpick. So
There you go. Give me your 1.
number 1, obviously Rockets bias, Stevie Franchise.
Yep.
That was my first favorite player ever. Uh Boy could bounce out the gym rookie of the
The
year.
franchise.
And then after that, everything kind of went downhill.
I think he started doing drugs.
Yeah, don't do crack, kids. I met Steve Francis a couple times. Let me say, that man was on crack. I can confirm.
The rumors are true.
He made a wrong turn. I also had a Steve Francis jersey, but you know, great couple years that we had, and then shit just didn't go right after that, unfortunately.
No, that's crazy. What a top five. That was so much fun to do. I was sitting here, I was watching my baby. I was babysitting. My wife went to the gym, so it's
Is
just
it
me and the
babysitting if you're
baby.
watching your own baby? Honest question.
Hmm. I guess it's called being a parent. Um, my wife was at the gym, so I was I'm stuck with this kid. I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just sitting
It is
here.
this. Oh shit, it's mine.
I was like, man, who are some players that for whatever reason we held in such high regard, and they weren't like all stars. Like they weren't like superstars or anything. Maybe they were at one point, but then it ended quickly. And I had this weird affiliation to Earl Boykins. I played 2K back in the day. I always put him on my team because he's fat. His speed was like 99. So he's
Yeah.
so fast. And then Michael Redd on like NBA 2K13. Unstoppable Michael Redd.
Isn't it funny how you have those players that you play with on 2K that are just like, if I could get you to play like this in real life, you would be the best player in the world.
Dude, Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon,
He
Gerald
was
Green,
a bucket. Gerald Green
Gerald,
was broken because he would
it's
jump out the gym.
whatever.
He
I don't
would
care.
just dunk on you.
Put Yao Ming in front of him. Bah! Like it's crazy.
Gerald Green. Michael Beasley could be another dude who had
No,
a bag. He had a bag
had
and
no idea
just
how to use it, but had a
nope.
bag.
His ISO game was crazy.
Let me tell you something. I knew how to use his bag.
Right? Yep. Oh man, what a top five. That one was so much fun. Um Man, and that's really all we got for basketball until the finals get to go in here in a couple days. But
I'm ready. I am so ready.
before we cut this off, do you have any words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Um, when Kendrick said "wop wop wop," he clearly gave Drake CTE. Um, Eminem should stop rapping for the rest of his life. Please retire gracefully, so I don't have to talk crap about you anymore. Um, what else do I have?
Fuck Rudy Gobert.
Stallion. Go to Fiverr for your cover art, please.
Fiverr.
I need you to go somewhere. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think he said it all. I think the only thing he didn't say was "fuck Rudy Gobert." I think
Yeah.
that's.
But fuck Rudy Gobert though. Like, let me be clear. There's a reason why you're at home.
You see, we when real quick when we did our top five NBA duos, people were like, "Where's AD and LeBron?" I was like, I didn't feel like talking about him.
In Cancun. Pretty long time ago, too. Oh, and I do want to point out, we talked about it before, that they're making the Clippers doc on FX.
Ooh.
Really excited about that. But with that ballpark where I have fuck Rudy Gobert, I also have fuck Doc Rivers. So as that series rolls out, we start watching it. This is not personal against Lawrence Fishburne. Love Lawrence Fishburne, but fuck Doc Rivers. So
Wait, Lawrence Fishburne's playing Doc Rivers?
yes.
Yo, you're
So
putting me on right now.
yeah, no, I love Lawrence Fishburne, but it's about to be tough out here.
How's the voice? Is the voice gonna be?
I have not heard the voice. I just saw the video and I saw him with the like fake hair on top.
We gotta watch the Clippers doc and then report back
Oh no, we will because
how we feel.
I absolutely hate Doc Rivers, and I
Yeah.
hope they show how shitty he was as a coach and how he rode.
That's so not the point of this show.
I don't care. Like I
Like
want
the
to
whole
see how
point's
shitty he
about
was as a
like
coach and how he rode off one goddamn championship where he clearly had the way better. I'm sorry.
this show.
Move on.
This show's about like systemic racism and how like the top is prejudiced to the bottom, and then he's just like, yeah, but let him know that Doc Rivers didn't deserve the championship and he's not that good. You think
Doc
they're gonna have scenes of Doc Rivers in the huddle in a timeout?
Chris Paul's like, what?
Like, there's a bigger message here, Jordan. He's like, yeah, but make sure you show that Doc Rivers couldn't coach to save his life.
I want to talk about the important things because that Clippers team should have won a championship. The only thing that held them back was Doc Rivers. That's
Only thing that held him back was the Houston Rockets.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Biggest comeback ever.
Was
yeah,
actually
I mean,
fun fact.
What'd you say?
Doc Rivers suck as a coach.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually one of the things. I remember that game when we were down by like 30, and then I went to the other room. I was like, "Up, season's over." And then the girl I was seeing at the time, she was like,
Fuck her too. That's
"Hey,
amazing.
100%." She was like, "Hey, you should come in here and see this." And I saw it was like an 8-point game. I was like, "Oh shit!" And Josh Smith shooting
Josh
those.
Smith was going stupid.
He shot the threes like from the back like that.
No, I just want to point out Doc Rivers is the worst coach in the world because he got beat. Not Josh Smith, understandable, but Corey fucking Brewer.
Josh Smith, Corey Brewer, and Jason Terry went crazy.
We had all of our all the important people on our team were on the bench, and they were getting torched. That was one of the greatest games ever.
No.
Also led me to believe that Doc Rivers is a terrible coach. That was the beginning of my research.
You're like, "Hey, this isn't normal. You shouldn't be
Bro,
able
how
to
you let
lose
that
like
happen?
this." All right. Well, that is episode 4 of the Bench Player Podcast. We'll be back to talk shit about something else next week.
Probably Doc Rivers.